Hello and welcome to my channel. It's Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady and I hope you have an absolutely fabulous day. Diwali is coming very soon, so I thought it would be great to share some Diwali cards with you. For all those 3 cards, we're going to use alcohol inks and Yupo paper. When you work with alcohol inks, you need like plasticky paper because otherwise the ink will stick to the paper and you can't remove them. We're going to use Spectrum Noir alcohol inks and a blender from the same company. Later on, we're also going to use some alcohol. When you work with alcohol inks, I really suggest that you work with in the room with the open window, as the smell of those inks is really strong. So first I applied a few drops of a blender and then I'm adding some drops of yellow, orange and reddish pink. With the blender or alcohol, the colors move really nicely on Yupo paper. But here we are going to use a straw. I didn't have a straw, so what I did, I used a pipette and I cut the bottom and the top off. And now I'm blowing it just to move the ink around. I have to say this is so much fun to do, so if you've never ever tried this technique, I really suggest you do it. With the alcohol inks, you will never ever get the same effect. That's why it's so unique and so special. And again, I'm just adding a little bit of blender to move the colors around. And when you work with alcohol inks and you're not very happy with the result, you can always use some alcohol or the blender and just wipe all the colors off. Here I'm using the blending tool just to mix the colors because I thought, oh, it just needed more blending around the edges, and I'm adding more blender here. I've got a tip for you. When you work with alcohol inks, the glass mat here worked really nicely, and you can use 90% alcohol to clean your surface. Here I'm using heat gun to move the inks around because the ink dries. It usually takes an hour or more to dry, but with the heat tool you can move the colors around and you have very nice effects. And again, I'm using a little bit of blender and heat tool again. So when you work on the glass mat, I really suggest you use alcohol to clean it. It's so easy to do. If you just wipe it with washing up liquid and a cloth, it won't take the color off. Okay, so our first background is done. Here I'm using some alcohol that I'm going to show you a little bit later. And again, I'm going to use the same Yupo paper to create background number 2. This time you can see the alcohol I'm going to use, and I'm going to use it with a pipette. This time I added a lot of alcohol for the background, and then I'm adding a few drops of the alcohol inks. And as you can see, they behave a little bit differently here. They move very gently here, and when you use a heat tool, they spread even more. With alcohol inks, the colors blend really nicely, and the effects you can get are absolutely outstanding. When you work with alcohol inks, I suggest that you look at the color wheel and use the colors either next to each other, not the opposite colors, because when you add opposite colors, they will create mud, and that's not what we want. And here, as you can see, the effect is so much different to the previous one. I really like it, and I'm adding a little bit more of alcohol here, and I move the colors around with the heat gun. I was so happy with this background. I think it's just so unique and beautiful. And actually I chose these 3 colors because apparently there are traditional colors for Diwali: yellow, orange and red. And now again, I'm going to clean my surface with the alcohol. And this time I'm actually putting all the excess of the color on the EPO paper, just not to waste any of those alcohol inks, because as you probably know, the alcohol inks can be pretty expensive. I know they will last you a long time, but even then, the price point is pretty high. So we don't want to waste any of those colors. And actually, with these alcohol inks, you can use them for alcohol markers. So you can refill the alcohol markers with those inks, and that's a bonus. So as you can see, I'm just playing around with the colors, the heat tool, and the alcohol. And again, I really suggest when you work with alcohol inks, just work with the open window, as the smell can be really strong. I didn't have any gold alcohol ink, but I think that would be a great idea. So if you have it, please use it for Diwali cards. Okay, and here I'm using some alcohol, and then I'm going to use just regular cardstock to take all those colors off, and then I can use them for any die cards or sentiments on other cards. The color is not the same as an EPO paper, it's not that vibrant, but even then I can use it. And then we just don't waste the alcohol ink. So now we can move on and start our project. So I use this mandala die cuts. I actually die cut it twice from white card. I use 160 GSM, so 2 pieces of paper went absolutely perfectly on my Gemini machine. And here I'm just arranging them because I'm going to put circle die. I'm using washi tape to put those 4 mandalas together. And now I'm putting circle. So with the washi tape here, with the circle, I'm trying to put the washi tape inside the circle so it doesn't damage any of the mandalas. And here you can see how it looks like when everything is cut out. And now I'm ready to put some liquid glue on the back and put it on our backgrounds. As you can see, all the backgrounds are dry. I left them for about 2 hours to dry. So here I'm just placing my mandalas, and I'm going to use liquid glue. I have to say that liquid glue works really well with UPO paper. It sticks amazingly here. And now I flip the paper over and I'm taking the excess of the mandalas off, because then we can actually use them on the same card. No one will ever know. And even when we finish adding all those mandalas, I'm going to trim that panel so it fits my card base, which is 5 by 7 inches. I have to say that playing with those mandalas was absolutely so much fun. And even with 4 or 5 mandalas, you can create absolutely beautiful backgrounds. And I really suggest you give it a go. The effect is absolutely stunning. So as you can see, I still have my washi tape here. And now I've got gold mirror card, and I'm going to die cut all those letters. I use Tonic Studio's alphabet die. It also has lowercase as well. So I die cut Happy Diwali, and I'm going to arrange it on in my circle. So first I wanted to put and check if happy fits there, and then I thought it would be a great idea to put the word Diwali on a curve. As you probably have noticed in my previous videos, I usually tape all the letters just to make sure they're on a straight line. I learned that technique from Jennifer Maguire. She's got absolutely amazing YouTube videos for card makers and crafters. So if you've never ever seen any of her videos, please watch them. They're absolutely amazing. And here I'm using my liquid glue, and I started with the letters in the middle of the word, just to make sure that everything is spaced evenly. And now I'm taking my washi tape really gently. Don't rush here, because you might ruin your beautiful mandalas, and that's not what we want. Because this card is so beautiful. Now I'm just adding a little bit of glue on the letters that were not really stuck properly. Now I have to trim our panel a little bit so it fits my gold mirror card and the card base. As usual, I use double-sided tape and liquid glue on top. So now my panel is trimmed, and now we are ready to assemble our first card. And as you know me, something very small is missing, and I'm going to add a little bit of gold gems inside our circle next to Happy Diwali. Oh, here they are, our beautiful small gold gems. And that's our first card finish. And I have to say that actually this video doesn't show the beautiful colors on the card. If you have a chance, please have a look at the photos on my blog, because they are more vibrant colors than on the video. And now I actually die cut the same mandala in gold mirror cut, and I'm going to make a half of a candle holder here. I think that is really unique and very special for Diwali. And then I'm going to take a small strip of gold mirror cut. I'm going to turn it over and use my pencil to draw a flame. And then I'm going to fussy cut and stick next to my candle holder. As you may know, during Diwali, people create very beautiful candle holders to celebrate the holiday of light. It's such a beautiful and colorful celebration. And now I'm going to add some white mandalas to create background, and again I use the same cutting dies from Tonic Studio for Happy Diwali words. I use gold mirror cut, and I think that works really well on here. I'm trying to place happy. We'll see if everything fits. And again, I'm going to line up all my letters on my glass mat and use washi tape just to make sure everything is nice and straight, and use some liquid glue with fine applicator. When you use washi tape, I would suggest that you wait at least 10 minutes before you take it off with liquid glue. And even then, please be very careful, because these lines and all those beautiful letters are so fiddly. But that's the reason I really like this alphabet set. Just so beautiful and unique. And now we are nearly ready, and we just need some white mandalas around our beautiful candle holder with a flame. And again, I'm going to stick them with liquid glue. Turn our cut over, get rid of the excess, and use the excess to fill in some of the gaps. I have to say that every year I just wait to make some Diwali cards, because this is such a beautiful and special holiday. One year I went to Nisden Temple in London, and it was so beautiful, with so many colors and absolutely amazing food. And that's how our panel looks like. Now it's time to trim it a little bit, add some gold mirror cut, and put our card on the card base. So that's our panel trimmed. And as I said before, gold mirror card and a card base. All my card bases here measure 5 by 7 inches, and I added few gems at the top in the corners. And for the last card, as you probably saw the background, now I'm going to put the mandala in the middle, the white mandala, and put some gold mandalas around and put Happy Diwali on the white mandala. You don't have to see me doing it because you saw the process before in the previous cards. And again, I'm going to trim our panel and stick it on gold mirror card and add it to the card base. And that's our final project done. So here you can see all those 3 cards. If you enjoyed this video, I really hope you'll give alcohol ink background a go. I would like to see all your projects. Please leave the link down below to your beautiful creations because I would love to see them. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting. And for those people who celebrate Diwali, happy Diwali. Bye!